Good morning everyone! People say that new year is new life, so I decided to create a new VT model for myself before next year. I mean, this year, but... well, I was sick, to the point that I could not talk or breathe, so I wasn't been able to record anything. And so I'm doing it now, a little bit late, but still, hi! My experience is still important somehow. Is it? Please notice that this video is not a tutorial. The author has no idea how he even managed to survive the developing process of that model. And yes, I'm still sick, so my voice can be a little bit weird. I mean, it's always weird, but whatever. Have a nice time watching. So, where's my new VT model? Oh, 1 second! Here it is, and as you could guess it, this is the video about how I made it. Of course, everything starts with design. I am a designer after all, so just bear with me. For my first model, I was too afraid to do something too hard, so I went with the basic stuff. No small details, 2 eyes, 1 mouth, normal human features, boring and simple. But it does not really go with the idea of my VTuber persona. That model definitely needed to be redesigned. Let me remind you that I am a universe-themed VTuber, and it's not because I have some kind of a god complex. I mean, I do have it, but it's not the reason at all. I just could not choose who I wanted to be, so I chose literally everything. That means that my model has to be heavily inspired by the outer space, stars, planets, all that. And what is associated with that unknown place more than aliens? That wasn't a sarcastic question, the answer is nothing. In my imagination, aliens are human-like creatures, but a bit more grotesque. They have weird proportions and have additional face features, for example. And that's exactly what I did. Also, I don't usually draw eyebrows, and that adds to the whole alien vibe too. For my clothing, I wanted to do either a really modern cyberpunk funky street outfit or a cute puff and flowy dress. But if you can remember, I am indecisive, so I made something in between. From my original design, I kept the color theme and flame-shaped space patterns on my clothes. Now they are transformed into those. I don't really know how to call them. But then I had a genius idea. What if the space in it will move? That will look like it's inside me. Something like a true identity of the universe behind the more human understandable form. And that was one of the best ideas I ever had in my whole life. I will not talk about the hair a lot because it's just a simple hairstyle. I wanted to do something crazy with it at first, but then I remembered that simplicity is the key to life and quitted the idea, creating the messiest hair in the whole VTuber history. Oh, also, look what it can do. Cool, yeah? Now when the design is done, I need to do the outlines. That is a simple stage, same thing as always. The only difference is that I need to keep in mind what parts will be movable and which ones are not. And keep them separate. But when it came to the coloring, well, I was not sure if my style will be as great for clothing as it is for face, because I had a really bad time making Linnea and Lynette fan art. But I decided to risk it, and I did not regret that decision. If my model will not have a cool rig, at least it will look cool. Yay, it's rigging time! This time I already knew some of the key features of the Life 2D, so it was not as hard as last time. Just make some meshes, set up the parameters, and deform the shapes to the form that you need. But don't forget to use the deformers for each new parameter so they will not overwrite each other, blah 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 blah. I also decided to not do the eye physics because I made it for my previous model and it was too shaky. So why the fuck I will even need to care to make it? Again, this is not a tutorial. I am not a professional rigger, this is just me sharing my experience, so I'll leave the links to the tutorials that I used in the description. But if you want some tutorials from me, I am planning to make a set of videos about drawing techniques and art culture. So if you're interested, you know what to do. Subscribe. The only things that I had troubles with is body and face rotation. I thought that those parts are easy to do, so I made them thinkless. And they ended up messy and looking flat, so I had to redo them at least 10 times. Yeah. So now it was time for some physics that will make my model feel more alive. Unlike me right now, I guess this is the easiest part of them all. And then some idle animations. I actually tried to avoid that part because I did not understand how does Live2D animation program works, so I decided to use breathing parameter for that, and it did not work for some of the animations because parameters go back and forth and it will be really weird if my tears will go up. I just lost some time. And here it is, my new VT model. Still not without a flaw, but much better than the last one. Hell, I like it! So, thank you very much for watching this video, hope you liked it, and goodbye! In my imagination, aliens are human-like creatures, but a bit more grotesque. They have weird proportions, Stage, same thing as always. I need... oh my fucking god, I don't want to do it anymore. I want to die, I want to cry, I want to do whatever there is just to... whoa. Poisonous plants in Great Britain. I will be a Mau Mau of Great Britain.